This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the place to create a beautiful website to help you stand out and succeed online, but more on them later. Watch price increases have been out of control. The most prominent one, the one that kind of felt like a punch in the gut for me, was back in 2021, 2022, when brands were feeling kind of good in the wake of the pandemic, supply was low, demand was high, and watch brands got a bit too big for their boots and made a few punchy increases. I should clarify before we go any further, this isn't a list of watches that I hate, and I think no one should spend their money on these because they're so horrible. Quite the opposite. I really like these. Enough that I'm seriously in the market to buy one. I just don't think the price tag matches the product being delivered anymore. First, watch the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso monoface. This is actually the watch that inspired this video. I've been watching these prices for a while. From April 2022 to 2023, the duo-face Reverso saw a 44% increase, with most of the Reverso line seeing a 30 to 40% increase in that time period. I will probably still buy a Reverso. My husband and I want to get matching his and hers monoface variations for our 10-year wedding anniversary. Probably a Reverso classic monoface pink gold. And I don't think these are atrociously priced. Even the stainless steel, these are £7,200. It's a tad higher than I'd like. Everything always is. I'm pretty cheap. But it's the quartz variations that I really can't understand. Like this Reverso classic monoface quartz stainless steel retails for £7,200 as well. This is very confusing to me. Then, if we compare against the Cartier tank, these start at £3,150, bracelet variations solar beat quartz £3,500. This makes total sense to me. Even a lot of watch enthusiasts would still be saying, this is too much money to be paying for a quartz movement. I don't know. I'm really confused by the JLC pricing structure. It seems to devalue their manual winding movements and overcharge for quartz. It brings me no pleasure to have the Chopard Alpine Eagle 36 on this list. This is one of my favorite watches out there, especially in the integrated bracelet category. I have tried this on many times. I've been so close to buying one. I nearly bought one in London about a year and a half ago. I just couldn't reconcile the price. So these retail for £10,500 or $13,400 USD. It's just too high. On the one hand, these are beautifully finished. I love the brushed and polished contrasts. Great wearing experience, only 8.4 millimeters thick, 100 meters of water resistance, COSC certified automatic movement. It's really that next step up for a go anywhere, do anything watch that's a bit different. I just think the functions don't align with the price. This is a 3-hand time only, not even date complication on the 36, stainless steel watch for over £10,000. It's been the only obstacle in me buying this. I think these should be £1,500 cheaper than they are. Let's talk about Omega. I have brought up Omega pricing many times. I used to be confused on the Aquaterra pricing structure against the Speedmaster Diver 300, but as time goes on, I think I understand the positioning. I think Omega is in a tricky position. As Rolex raises their prices, about 5% per year, Omega will feel a pressure to raise in line. A lot of their watches are almost half the price. The Sapphire Sandwich Speedy currently retails for £7,500, while the Daytona is currently £14,050. I think Omega doesn't want to get below half price, and I understand. The bigger question mark for me hovers around the Moonshine Gold and Canopus Gold pricing. So the stainless steel models are about half the price of their Rolex counterparts, but the Canopus or white gold Speedy is more expensive than a white gold Daytona on bracelet, and the Moonshine Gold or yellow gold is more or less about the same as gold Daytonas. Now, gold should cost more. I'm not saying they should be the same as the stainless steel Speedies. Gold is at an all-time high. I'm just confused about the pricing strategy. They are either way overvaluing their gold pieces, hoping for those big whale customers and Omega purchasers, or they are undercharging for the stainless steel Speedies. I love the Omega proprietary gold. The alloys are beautiful, but these are too much. Okay, the Blancpain 50 Fathoms always makes my heart drop a little bit when I see the price. I have been looking at the 38mm 50 Fathoms Automatique quite seriously. My collection has a noticeable gap in blue divers. That's sarcasm. The thing with Blancpain is these are premium and should cost more. This is a titanium case and bracelet, 300 meters of water resistance, great movement with the 1140 automatic caliber. These should carry a higher price tag compared against something like the Rolex Submariner. But almost 18,000 pounds, 17,900 pounds is not right. Once again, I'm sorry for another Rolex comparison, but if we compare against the titanium Yachtmaster, these are 13,450 pounds, although almost no one can get one. If Blancpain was closer to 14,000 pounds, it would make sense, and the brand could carry that premium. Okay, this isn't going to make me any friends, but I've been a Cubitus defender from the start. Did Thierry Stern say some stuff that rubbed people wrong and was wildly inaccurate? Yes, but I liked the watch. I thought it was cool that Patek was adding something new in. It made a lot of sense in the current catalog, and I really liked the vision. Being the new entry point into the brand meant to attract a younger demographic. I think this hobby needs an injection of youth and excitement. I would love to see more new people falling in love with timepieces. In my opinion, Patek should carry a premium price. The name and brand can support it. The finishing is beautiful. They are synonymous with high complication and innovation, and to so many people, they represent the tippy top of mainstream watchmaking. But it's the same problem I had with the Chopard Alpine Eagle. This is a 3-hand stainless steel watch retailing for 35,000 pounds. Oh, for a reference point, the Vacheron Constantin oversees chronograph. So with the chronograph complication, retails for less. I should make a price comparison website. I think that's where my skills are best used. And if I did do that, I would be using today's fabulous video sponsor, Squarespace. So having a website is almost essential at this point. If you're doing anything, podcast, photography, maybe you have a private medical practice or a cute cafe, your website is the first place people go to find you, and it is their first taste into what you do. Squarespace makes it inexcusably easy to make a great looking website. Using Squarespace Blueprint AI, you just need to put in a few basic prompts and information about your industry and let the AI do its thing. But it is still fully customizable in case you're like, AI, no, I don't like that. Or you can do it the way I did it, choosing from their library of professionally curated layouts. It's a bit more manual, but it works better for the way my brain works. On top of that, they get your website found with their SEO tools and ensure every website is optimized so you show up higher on search engines and more people can find you. Whatever you're doing, whether you're selling content, offering services, maybe you run a mid-sized YouTube channel and want a little one-pager so more brands and viewers can find you, Squarespace has you covered. If this sounds like something you need in your life, head to squarespace.com/BritPierce for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch, use my code, the Brit Pierce code, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Go click that link, and thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. The TAG Heuer Formula 1. I will keep this one short and sweet. It's not exactly a novel complaint. TAG Heuer reintroduced the F1, the Formula 1, last year at Watches and Wonders 2025. They've returned as the official timekeepers of Formula 1. It's a nostalgic line that enthusiasts love, and we've wanted to see return for a while. The F1 debuted in 1986, right after the TAG acquisition of Heuer watches. It was the first model ever to have the name TAG Heuer on it, so not just Heuer anymore, TAG Heuer, and it was cheap and cheerful, meant to attract a younger demographic. They retailed for $200 USD at the time. Adjusted for inflation, it would be $590 in today's money, and that's what we were kinda hoping to see. They are solar graphs, which is cool, but yeah, 1,650 pounds? Woof. Hublot is another mainstay on lists like this, and once again, I would consider myself a bit of a Hublot apologist. I can see why people hate on them, but I really admire how much they know who they are. They don't care what anyone says, they make what they make, and they know who their people are. As much as enthusiasts tease them, they have an audience. There are a lot of pieces that are overpriced in their current catalog. I love the Classic Fusion. If I was going to buy an Hublot, that would be it. But it is overpriced. The biggest problem I see is with their Unico Big Bangs, which start at £16,000. Let's talk about Panerai. I have a real soft spot for them. Their designs aren't like anyone else. They are big and bold. As everything moves more dainty and refined, Panerai is like a Hulk smash, and I love it. My biggest problem is with the submersible line though. So these start at £8,200. You've got the cool crown guard, unique design language, date complication, 300 meters of water resistance, but rubber strap is a bit limiting. I wouldn't say Panerai is known for their movements or finishing. It's a bit punchy for what it is. Zenith is a brand I am endlessly rooting for. Their chronographs are legendary. The El Primero is legendary, as is their chronograph movements. The watch I have the biggest problem with is their Pilot automatic. Okay, why don't we look at this together? We have a 3-hand watch, date complication, stainless steel, mostly brushed surfaces on a fabric strap. Very good brand, which should be factored in. When I saw this, my first thought was maybe £5,000. It is £7,100 or $8,100 USD. My brother in Christ, you cannot spend £7,000 on this. Now, I will say, one of my first priorities with Watches and Wonders this year was to book an appointment with Zenith, because I want to be proven wrong. I hope all of my criticisms are wrong. I really love the El Primero, and I think the Chronomaster Sport is one of the strongest chronographs out there right now. But this Pilot, it's a sticky wicket. It's a tough one. Moving on, the IWC Ingenieur is another unoriginal choice for a list like this, and I was flip-flopping on if I add it, like a lot of watch enthusiasts when I first saw the price of the Ingenieur. Je suis confuse, pourquoi? But after seeing it in the metal, they kind of won me over. The finishing is exceptional, the proportions are beautiful, and an integrated bracelet with a taper is always a winner for me. It's clearly something they've invested a lot of time and resources into getting quite right. But it's still the same logic as the Alpine Eagle. It all comes back to the Alpine Eagle theory. £10,100 for the 40 millimeters and £8,900 for the 35 millimeters is a lot of guacamole for a stainless steel 3-hander with date. Between the Alpine Eagle 36 and Ingenieur 35, I would say the Ingenieur has the edge for me. This would be my choice. I like the taper and the bracelet more, but the price has been just enough of a deterrent, and I wish it wasn't. I'm very close to buying this one. I might just have to let go of the logic and just do it. I try to have logic in watch collecting, but this is not a logical way to spend money. So it really brings me no joy to have Rolex on this list. I have been a longtime defender of Rolex pricing strategy, and even on this list, I think they stand out because they're one of the few brands that can actually support the prices they're asking for. Like with the stainless steel Daytona, it can be £14,000 and they're not going to struggle to find a buyer. I just think they've officially reached a point where the product isn't matching the price tag, or at the very least, they're at the edge of it. If they go 5% higher next year, I think a lot of people will be out. I have been a long-term Rolex person. It brings me no pride to say that, but I've always thought for the price, there's no one who delivers what they do to the quality of excellence they deliver at the price. I don't think anyone comes near Rolex. They treat stainless steel like a precious metal. The brushing is flawless. The bracelets always perfectly taper. The design always feels right on wrist, never too bulky or cumbersome. Every bit of the proportions and wearing experience has clearly been thought through. I feel like Rolex understands the things that make people actually fall in love with a watch. I always say it, a watch could have the best specs in the world, the most complications, whatever. But if it doesn't feel right on wrist, if it doesn't sit just a specific way and make you feel like $1,000,000, I don't think anyone's going to want to buy it. When you pick up a watch, you want to feel a bit of weight to it. There's a way a well-crafted thing feels in hand, and Rolex has got it. Same with on wrist. And it isn't just brand name or perception. I know people are going to comment down below, oh, if the Rolex logo wasn't on it, no one would care. I don't think that's true. They have just captured a magic. But they are starting to price themselves out of what they're worth, and this is the first time I've ever thought this. Yes, the Rolex fangirl of fangirls is starting to think, oosh. I bought my Rolex Daytona in 2021 at retail for £10,500. It was the most expensive watch I had ever bought. Loved it, still love it. It is now retailing for £14,000, and I'm not sure it's worth that. I think they're pricing themselves out of what the product is worth, but not the brand. Does that make sense? Sometimes I just say things. I think that makes sense. I think the brand can still support what they're asking for a bit longer, but not much further. I know I'm going to get a few comments saying, Brittany, they're all overpriced. There's no luxury watches that are worth the money. And you're not wrong. I just think there's something to say for the difference between worth and value. And I also think there's something to say for fancy, well-crafted, beautiful things. Things where a lot of care and attention went into them. There's something really lovely about craftsmanship and brands and watchmakers who deeply care about making something beautiful. I'm okay to pay a premium for that. That's fine with me. But I think the prices are getting out of line with the product received. Yeah, I think I'm just down about the price increases. I think I'm just down in general right now. It feels like people like me and collectors like me, people who would see watches as a very aspirational purchase, I would save my money. I'd find the watch I want. I'd save my money. I'd obsess over it. And then finally, when I had enough money to purchase it, I would get it. It would be very exciting. It's a hobby, and I probably spend too much on watches. The more average people are being squeezed out of this hobby to make more room for whale customers, people with a lot of money. You know, I can't tell if I'm just feeling a little bit grumpy. Maybe that's just the way of the world. And if your biggest complaint is, Rolex is getting too expensive, you know, you're not doing so bad. Anyways, thank you for your viewership. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And thank you to the patrons, the Pope tier patrons, the all tier patrons. But get the Pope tier ones. Get their names on the screen. Hey guys, I can't tell if this was too grumpy of a video. I kind of did like making it. I just like being cheap on the internet. Thank you so much for supporting my weird little channel. I hope you keep enjoying the content we make here. I love making it. I consider myself one of the luckiest people alive that I get to do what I love for work, and it's thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. And even if you don't keep enjoying the channel and what we do here, I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're fabulous. You're fabulous. Thank you so much.